All right, guys, I will call to order the Transportation Committee meeting of February 16th, 2021. A physical quorum of the members not present. However, pursuant to Section 7E of the Open Meetings Act, members are permitted to attend remotely. And pursuant to the Attorney General's guidance to public bodies, county board members may participate without being physically present in compliance with the established provisions. May I have a roll call, please?
Chaplin.
Here.
Desart.
Here.
Krajewski.
Here.
Ozog.
Here.
Chalsky.
Here.
Zay.
Here.
All right, we do have a quorum. We have no public comment. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the February 2nd, 2021 transportation meeting?
So move, Zay.
Second, Chaplin.
Okay, motion is second. Any changes, alterations, or corrections? We have a roll call, please.
Zay.
Aye.
Chaplin.
Aye.
Desart.
Aye.
Krajewski.
Aye.
Ozog.
Aye.
Chalsky.
Aye. Okay, that passes. Agenda item 5, I'd like to have a motion to combine the 3 items under the consent agenda.
So move, Zay.
Second, Desart.
I thank you. A motion is second. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Zay.
Aye.
Chaplin.
Aye.
Desart.
Aye.
Krajewski.
Aye.
Ozog.
Aye.
Chalsky.
Aye. All right, that passes. Now I'd like the motion to approve 5A, a consent item, dual fuel to decrease and close the contract out, Freeway 4 to decrease and close the contract, and Wheatland Title to decrease and close the contract.
Second, Ozog.
Okay, a motion by Chaplin, second by Ozog. Any questions? May I have a roll call vote, please?
Chaplin.
Aye.
Desart.
Aye.
Krajewski.
Aye.
Ozog.
Aye.
Chalsky.
Aye.
Zay.
Aye.
All right, that passes. Thank you. Next, we're on item 6, which is procurement requisitions. May I have a motion to approve the contract with First Aid Corp. doing First Aid Corp. to deliver aerosols and shop supplies as needed to the Department of Transportation, not to exceed $18,000.
So move, Zay.
I have a motion by Zay, a second by Desart. Are there any questions? If none, roll call, please.
Zay.
Aye.
Chaplin.
Aye.
Desart.
Aye.
Krajewski.
Aye.
Ozog.
Aye.
Chalsky.
Aye. That passes. Next, I have a motion to approve the contract to Rush Truck Centers of Illinois for engine repair and replacement parts as needed, not to exceed $20,000.
So move, Chaplin.
Second, Zay.
All right, motion and a second. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Chaplin.
Aye.
Desart.
Aye.
Krajewski.
Aye.
Ozog.
Aye.
Chalsky.
Aye.
Zay.
Aye.
All right, that passes. Next, I have a motion to approve DTP 3321, a contract to Fleet Pride Inc. to furnish and deliver heavy truck springs and brakes as needed for an amount not to exceed $38,000.
So move, Desart. Second, Chaplin.
Motion and a second. Do we have any questions? There being none, roll call, please.
Desart.
Aye.
Krajewski.
Aye.
Ozog.
Aye.
Chalsky.
Aye.
Zay.
Aye.
Chaplin.
Aye.
All right, that passes. Next, item 7 is change orders. Motion to approve DTP 237A20, an amendment to a resolution to K-Tech Specialty Coatings to furnish and deliver de-icing liquids as needed and to increase the amount of $20,000, resulting in a contract of $83,900, an increase of 31.30%.
So
So
move,
moved,
Chaplin.
Zay.
Second, Chaplin.
I have a motion by Zay, a second by Chaplin. Are any questions from anybody?
Yeah, why would we need this? No, just kidding.
Is that sarcasm?
That's sarcasm, Dad. Sorry.
I'm so unlike you, Jim, you know? All right. That being said, are there any other questions? Roll call, please.
Zay.
Aye.
Chaplin.
Aye.
Desart.
Aye.
Krajewski.
Aye.
Ozog.
Aye.
Chalsky.
Aye. All right, that passes. Next, I'd like to approve item 8A, which is DTR 15521, a resolution to Cooper Haven Construction, Inc. for the 2021 Sidewalk Improvement Program which was a low bid, was $215,459.91.
So moved, Chaplin.
Second, Zach.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Chaplin,
Aye.
Sarge,
Aye.
Krajewski,
Aye.
Ozak,
Aye.
Chakowski,
Aye.
Day,
Aye.
So that passes. Next, we have item 9. I would like to combine agenda items 9A, B, and C, please.
So moved, Chaplin.
Second, Zach.
All right, we have a motion and a second to combine. Are there any questions? Or being none, roll call, please.
Chaplin,
Aye.
Sarge,
Aye.
Krajewski,
Aye.
Ozak,
Aye.
Chakowski,
Aye.
Day,
Aye.
All right, that passes. Now I would like to have a motion to combine agenda items 9A, DTR 14221, to approve, I'm sorry, to approve an intergovernmental agreement relating to the O'Hara Noise Compatibility Commission, DTR 15021, a local public agency agreement between the County of DuPage and the Illinois Department of Transportation for improvements along Grand Avenue for a cost of $1,620,471, and to approve DTR 15421 impact fee credit agreement for Bucks Inc.
So moved, Zach.
Second.
I have a motion by Zay, a second by DeSarter. Any questions? If none, roll call, please.
Day,
Aye.
Chaplin, Sarge,
Aye.
Krajewski,
Aye.
Ozak,
Make sure we-
Chakowski,
Aye. All right, thank you. That passes. Next is item 10, which is informational. It's the 2021 capital program. Chris, you want to speak to that too a little bit?
Yes, thank you, Chairman Pachalski. So Friday, I did send out our 2021 capital improvement to all the committee members, just summarizing the projects we'll be building for this year. Again, we continue to focus on state of good repair, maintaining our infrastructure, but we have a number of projects that both address safety as well as capacity. The total program is just under 32 million. We'll be resurfacing about 70 lane miles of road throughout the county, as well as a number of other notable projects. 31st Street in the Oak Brook area, Grand Avenue in the Elmhurst, Bensonville area, Crest Road in the West Chicago area, and others. So in addition to the program, you should have received a map showing the projects in each of your districts. That program will be released today officially through a press release following this meeting, and we'll also share with all the board members following this meeting as well. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to take them. Otherwise,
Well, I think this is good. It creates a lot of good paying jobs for our residents in DuPage. So this was great to see. I know District 1 has quite a few things going on. Does anybody have any other comment or question about
No,
anything?
looks all good.
Yes, it is all good. That's it. All right. That being said, that takes us to our presentation, which is the flashing yellow arrow control.
yes, so I'm going to turn it over to Bill Edson, our traffic engineer, but by way of a quick overview, last year, I think it was, we applied for safety funds to implement what's known as yellow flashing, or flashing yellow arrow. You'll see that this has been implemented, I believe, in Kane County, McHenry County. This will be the first time it would be considered in DuPage County. It's a cost-effective way to address certain accident types. And so what Bill's going to do is just give a high-level overview of flashing yellow arrow and where we're applying, where we're going to do a demonstration project, if you will, or not demonstration, but implement it. So I'll turn it over to Bill.
Okay, everybody hear me?
Yes.
If I can get somebody to allow me to share the screen, I would appreciate it.
Should be able to, can you not?
You should be able to do that directly. Is that correct?
Yeah, you
No.
should be able to.
A green button on the bottom says.
Yeah, it's saying it's disabled, so IT was supposed to set it up for me. So
It says
Why don't
you
you give us
can.
a-
is there somebody in?
IT's working on it.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Just give everybody approval to share.
Yeah, sure, go ahead and try now, Bill.
Okay,
Right now, Bill?
all right. Looks yeah, it looks like I can do it here.
Thank you.
Flashing yellows confuse me when I go to King County.
After this, Jim, you won't be confused.
All right. Can everybody see the presentation?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to introduce you to the flashing yellow arrow control. Sounds like Mr. Zay already is familiar with it. Like Chris said, I'm going to give an overview of flashing yellow. Some of you may have seen this type of traffic signal display as you travel around the country. I'm going to assume that not everyone is familiar with it. So I'm going to share what flashing yellow arrow control is, its history, its benefits. I'll show you some examples, and I'll talk about what the Division of Transportation has planned for deploying flashing yellow arrow. The flashing yellow arrow is a particular type of traffic signal display to control left turning traffic. It provides a left turn green arrow for protected left turns and provides a flashing yellow arrow for permissive left turns. So we're all familiar with the traditional five sections traffic signal head, which provides for protected left turns on the green arrow and permitted left turns on the green ball indication. So the flashing yellow arrow display takes the place of the green ball. The signal sequence begins with the solid green arrow, just as you would see with the 5-section signal, and then it transitions to a solid yellow arrow. Then it moves to a solid red arrow, which ensures a change interval for turning vehicles to get out of the intersection before conflicting traffic begins moving. Then the yellow arrow starts flashing, which allows drivers to turn when there is no oncoming traffic. Since the traffic signal sequence remains essentially the same, drivers will not experience an increase in travel times or delay. The only change from the driver's point of view is that the green ball is replaced with a flashing yellow arrow. You'll see some examples later, so don't worry if this sounds confusing right now. Flashing yellow arrow really came to researchers' attention back in 2003 when they started looking at its usefulness and effectiveness. And then the Federal Highway Administration formally included it in the Manual on Uniform Traffic Control Devices in 2009, which opened it up to use around the country. In Illinois, IDOT District 4 in Peoria deployed the first flashing yellow arrow project in the state at around 100 intersections beginning in 2010. And they really took the lead in terms of using and promoting flashing yellow arrow within Illinois. Shortly thereafter, Kane County received a federal HSIP grant from the Highway Safety Improvement Program to install flashing yellow arrow, and they began converting signals on Randall Road in 2015. So what are the benefits? Nationwide, traffic studies have shown a decrease in left turning crashes that comes from providing a clear indication to drivers and from including additional control over the left turn movement. Also, the roadway capacity can be increased as some left turning vehicles can start turning earlier when a flashing yellow arrow comes up than they can with a permissive green ball display. And we'll see that in a little bit. These are also becoming common throughout the region. As I mentioned, Kane County and Peoria both have been early adopters of the flashing yellow arrow, as well as the states of Wisconsin, Indiana, Iowa, and Missouri. Anyone who's traveled around these states in the last few years has probably seen some flashing yellow arrows. Okay, I have a few quick videos to share. The first is a PSA that was put together by IDOT District 4 in Peoria when they introduced the flashing yellow arrow. Let's see if this works when I click it. Okay, I'm going to pause really quick. Can everybody hear the audio coming through?
No.
Some people? No? Okay, let me try really quick with the setting.
I can hear
here.
the audio,
There's
but
some
not the video, but not see the video.
What's that?
I could hear the audio, but I could not see the video.
Oh, that's interesting. Can everybody see the video?
No.
No,
Nobody can see the video. Okay.
boardroom is nothing.
Okay, this is Zoom is always challenging. We got to find the right setting. Wendy showed me the setting to use, and I tried to use it, and it didn't work. Oh, here it is. Okay. Share sound. Okay, let's try this. All right, I think everybody should be able to see and hear it now.
I'm Randy Laniga, traffic engineer for the Illinois Department of Transportation.
Is that working?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna let it play.
We have been installing flashing yellow arrows for left turns at signalized intersections. The reason we're doing this is for safety.
Studies have shown that using the flashing yellow arrow instead of the circular green has greatly reduced left turn crashes. In addition to increasing safety at intersections, the flashing yellow arrow signal provides drivers with more opportunities to make left turns and provides traffic engineers with more options for handling variable traffic volumes. Here's a look at how these signals work. When the arrow is green, drivers wishing to turn left may proceed and make the turn. When the steady yellow arrow appears, drivers wishing to turn left should prepare to stop or prepare to complete the turn if they are legally within the intersection and there is no conflicting traffic present. When the arrow is red, drivers wishing to turn left must stop and wait. When the flashing yellow arrow appears, drivers wishing to turn left may proceed after yielding to traffic and oncoming pedestrians. Use caution while turning on a flashing yellow arrow, as oncoming traffic has the green light. Flashing yellow arrow signals are being added to more than 100 intersections in Peoria and surrounding areas. Please drive safely at flashing yellow arrow intersections and at all times.
Okay. Now I'm going to try to show some video here of Randall Road in King County. There's no real audio with this. Hopefully I can get it to work reasonably well. Okay, everybody see the video on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first video here is a leading green arrow. And so this is the same type of operation that you would see today when you arrive at a 5-section traffic signal and you get the green arrow. So our driver is going to have a protected left turn indication come up here. And so you can see the green arrow here and then the green ball. So this is northbound traffic that's driving away from us. And so this is what they would see with a flashing yellow. Now it turns to a yellow arrow, a red arrow, and now the flashing yellow arrow begins when the oncoming traffic gets their green. So again, it's similar to what you would see at a 5-section traffic signal when the arrow comes up. Let's see here. Okay, I have to share each of these videos individually, so just bear with me for a second. Let me rewind it. This video is going to show a leading flashing yellow arrow. So this is unique to flashing yellow arrow control. And this is where you get the added capacity for the intersection and the reduced delay. So in this situation, the driver would today would see a red signal as a northbound driver because the oncoming traffic has a green arrow and a green ball, so they're getting to go. So normally you would not see any kind of an opportunity to turn. With flashing yellow arrow, the driver can actually turn during that period if there's no traffic coming. So you do get an opportunity to get a few more left turners through the intersection if there's no oncoming traffic.
As Bill is queuing up the next video, that's one of Chairman Pachalski and I were just chatting. That is one of the huge benefits of flashing yellow arrow is that you're not waiting for that oncoming traffic to complete that protected turn with the arrow. You can actually go against the flow to go in the opposite direction under the flashing yellow, which does not exist if you gave a green ball. Obviously, that would cause the through cars to go as well. So that's one of the huge advantages of the flashing yellow.
Yes, thank you, Chris. The third video here shows the main line through movement with a green ball indication starting. So this would be, again, just like today, if there's no left turn arrow come up, you're going to see the green indication. But instead of the standard green ball for the left turner, they actually get the flashing yellow arrow right away. so they get some clear indication that they need to yield to oncoming traffic. And then I've got one more video to show, is what happens at the end of the green indication. I have to click about 20 times to bring these up. I apologize for that. There we go. Okay, right at the beginning of this video, currently we see a flashing yellow and a green. Right at the beginning, it's going to switch to the yellow and then the red. Just again, just like a normal end of the green light situation on the road, but it happens really quick right at the beginning. So I just want to make sure everybody sees it. It quickly went into yellow and then it's going to go into red. So I'm going to rewind here and let everybody see that one more time. Just, you can see the flashing yellow and the green, and then it's going to go promptly into the solid yellow. Okay. Back to the presentation. Can everybody see the PowerPoint?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. So the reason I'm sharing all this with you, as Chris mentioned, we have a project that we're just beginning to convert 5 intersections along 63rd Street to be the first flashing yellow arrow locations in the county. We received an HSIP grant for safety through IDOT to use federal funds to pay for 70% of the cost to install the flashing yellow arrow on 63rd Street in Willowbrook and in Westmont. The estimated project cost is $1.9 million, with the HSIP program funding $1.33 million of that cost. The intersections included in the project at 63rd Street and Hinsdale Lake Willowbrook Commons entrance. That's immediately west of 83. That's the Whole Foods entrance and some other commercial sites there. 63rd Street and Clarendon Hills Road, 63rd Street and Ridge Road, 63rd Street and Cass Avenue, and 63rd Street and Suffield Court, which is the Mariano's entrance that's just west of Cass and also serves a residential community to the south. So we plan on putting together a public outreach campaign to educate drivers leading up to the implementation. It's something that we're going to be discussing with our design consultant as we bring them on board. That may take the form of media contacts, public service announcements, social media blitzes, a project website, or coordination with the high schools and the bus companies. As we get into that process, we'll reach out in whatever ways are the most effective, and we'll keep the members informed about that as well. In the future, we expect to expand flashing yellow arrow control to other intersections on the county system. Initially, we plan to expand along 63rd Street and at nearby locations to maintain driver familiarity. We are trying to select corridors for flashing yellow arrow rather than introducing individual locations. I want to say thank you very much for your time. That's all I have on this topic.
Anybody have any questions?
Sure, just real quick, Chairman.
Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, have you contacted Willowbrook and Westmont villages and let them know this is coming to their towns?
Chris, did you have something? Or?
Yeah, we have not at this point, Member Krajewski. That will be part of the design level of effort to engage those communities, both make them aware of it, but also in the public relations side as well.
What do you think the timing is that is? Because I would contact them now, honestly.
We're in the process of bringing on a consultant that has experience doing this and the public relations side of it. So I think we want to bring them on, and one of those first steps is to engage the local communities on how best we can begin to ramp up for that effort.
But why wouldn't we notify them and tell them it's coming before we get our consultant on board?
Yeah, and we can certainly work through their traffic, their engineering directors, let them know that we got this grant and we'll be bringing it forward.
I think it's a good idea. Anything
Thank
else?
you. No, thank you.
Is this presentation going to be on our website so people could view this on online?
The actual, I think, we could make it available, so it would be available, I presume, through the link to the actual committee meeting. In terms of like a PSA and public service, I think we'll be working to bring something like what IDA did in Peoria. Something more professional to kind of get it out there and begin the education process for motorists.
All right, Jim, did you have a question?
I did. Thank you, Don. Will these ultimately, if this works out, does this replace the left on arrow only?
No.
No?
The
Okay.
left on arrow only is the next level of traffic control. So this would only replace where you see the 5-section traffic signal where the arrows and the green ball, which allows a permissive or an optional left turn.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Just one more thing, Don.
Go ahead, Brian.
For those ones on 63rd, those 5 intersections, is it just going to be the east-west or is it both north, south, east, west? So it'd be all 4?
We've got funding to do all 4. I think they're all 4-legged intersections. The funding approved all 4. That's one of the things that the consultant needs to assist us in determining what the final scope of the project is going to involve. And that's,
Okay.
I think to your point, that's where the conversation with the villages is going to play into that.
Sure, because so some of them may only have it on the north side or the east-west and not the north-south, depending on what the consultant comes up with.
That's an option.
Okay, thank you.
Mary?
Thank you, Chairman. Bill, I just want to clarify. So for instance, you're turning left, you're going north on Gary Avenue and you're turning left onto North Avenue. That would be considered a high volume turn and you would not be changing that kind of intersection. I think that's a single green arrow.
So yeah, so at North Avenue in particular, that's an IDOT owned intersection. So even though it's a county highway leg, IDOT has complete authority over that intersection. But there are examples where you could do this at a high volume approach. And I think to Member Zay's point earlier is that may be a better situation to be a left on arrow only and not even allow the permissive left. That's part of the safety analysis that goes into this type of a project, even determining whether you would use this control or that other more protected only type of a control.
And are you looking at historic accidents at the site, that kind of thing?
That was all part of what went into the grant application. Yes, it was all historical crash data that supported the need for the funding.
Okay, thank you.
You're
I have a
welcome.
follow-up on what Mary said. It seems to me there had to be a traffic study done, and that's why 63rd was selected because of that traffic study. We just picked 63rd for some other reason.
It was a combination of the traffic study as well as, like I mentioned, trying to find a corridor where we could implement at multiple intersections. So as opposed to just picking a location with one kind of viable candidate intersection, 75th Street, for example, we've already converted the vast majority of those signals to the left on arrow only. So that wouldn't be a good candidate to do a corridor improvement like this. So we looked at a few different corridors that could potentially have been candidates, and this one, in terms of the grant application process, scored kind of the best overall in terms of a corridor and the safety benefits.
One more point. The video indicated that this would greatly reduce left turn crashes. Is that 10%, 20%? Do we have any idea what that would be?
I looked into that, and there really hasn't been a quantified study that's been maybe like applicable to the entire nation. It's been very localized, and there's been examples of 10%. There's been examples of 50%. So with that kind of a range, it's hard to say what would apply here. I asked Kane County about their experience. They have not had them up and running long enough to have enough data to do an accurate analysis yet. So they haven't evaluated the percentage.
All right. Does anybody have anything else to comment or questions regarding this? I don't see anybody. So thank you, Bill, for that presentation. I appreciate it very much. Next, we go to item 12. Any report from our state's attorney? Do we have anybody have anything under old business? Anything under old business? Anything under new business, Chris?
Nothing.
Okay.
Spring is around the corner, I think.
All right. Matt, if that being said, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved
Sir
by-
Chaplin?
Second, I got a motion by Ozark, second by DeSart. Will we have a roll call vote, please?
Ozark,
Yes.
Chakowski?
Yes.
Dave?
Aye, yes.
Chaplin?
Aye.
DeSart?
Aye.
Januski?
All right, we stand adjourned. Thanks, guys. Have a great week.
Thank you, everyone.